All Things Eastern. I'm your host, Patty Dobson, and tonight we have a very special guest with us, Scott Blazek, who lives in Clovis and who is an artist, one of my favorite artists, is here to talk about the Pintoris Art League art auction, which is coming up on the 2nd of November. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for inviting me and having me come talk about art.
This is an exciting event.
It is. It
and
is.
It's not just about art, but you guys do some really good stuff with Pintoris, and you do some good things for Eastern students.
Both for the area of Clovis and Portales, those two communities, I am blown away by the talent that is in this area. Students and those that have what they call experienced artists or professionals. Photography, painting, watercolor, sculpture, three-dimensional, even pottery, and a tremendous amount of talent. And what Pintoris tries to do is to get a place to meet and for artists to come together and talk about art. And we get special speakers to come, and they do demos, whether it's a painting demo, oils, acrylic, watercolor. We've had people come talk about all kinds of different aspects of art and the type of art they particularly do. And this auction that's coming up, we try to have it every year. It hasn't been every year, but just about every year. And it gives our local artists a chance to show their stuff and also to offer it for sale. And it's just a great opportunity for the community to come and see that showcased artwork and just have a nice evening out.
It
It's
is
just
a good time.
pleasant evening. And of course, one thing we don't have on this little poster you have in front of you, but you will be the auctioneer.
Yes, this will be my second year doing it,
Second time.
and it must not have been so terrible because you asked me back, and I had a ball with that.
And this lady here is dangerous with a gavel in her hand.
I am not afraid to use it. and that it was such a lot of fun, and the artwork was amazing, just amazing. And do you know some of the pieces that'll be in this year? Do you?
Actually, that's a really good point. No, I don't. We just don't know what's going to walk through the door that Saturday morning.
That's part of the excitement.
It is because, and I'm blown away. I'm really surprised by some of the stuff. I'm just going like, whoa, look at that. That's great. And what's your minimum on that one? Which I may mention also. Some pieces, the artist can place a minimum bid. Sometimes they've gotten burnt in the past, to be quite honest. They'll put a beautiful piece up and it goes for half or less than what it's really worth. So to honor the artist, we've gone ahead and told them, put pieces in the auction you want to sell, but put a minimum bid to be fair to you, but also that will also jumpstart the auction because we want it to sell.
Yes.
So there's all that important balance. Last time we had maybe I think about 35 pieces, and only about 2 or 3 passed. Everything else sold.
I'll tell you, in walking around the room, my head exploded a number of times because the work was so good, and it was so different. I think that's one of the fun parts to your auction. It was so different.
Well, some people come with expectations. They may come looking for representational art, and there will be some, I can kind of guess that there will be, some landscapes and some still lifes. Could be some Western scenes. We have some artists that do that, but then there can be some abstract pieces. And it's kind of interesting to me that the abstract pieces really generate some interest. Because they're edgy.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of an edge.
There you go.
Now, this takes place Saturday, November 2nd.
Yes.
And it will be in Moore Hall, which is connected to St. James Episcopal
Easy
Church.
for you to say.
You would think.
Yeah, St. James Episcopal Church, which is right on Main Street. You cannot miss it. It's almost a landmark. It may be a historic landmark. It's got that adobe look to it. It's beautiful inside. They have a relatively new parish hall, as we might call it, that's adjacent to it, and it's 1117 North Main Street. And they have like a little courtyard. You walk through, there's a little archway with a gate, real charming. And when you go through that, you just kind of lean to the right, and you'll see the lights on. And we encourage people to get there a little early. We're going to open the doors about 6 p.m., and that'll give them a chance to look everything over. And while they're doing that, we're going to have some live entertainment. They're called the the Curry County Outlaws. Yeah, and a little bit of a country western touch to them. Really, I've heard them play once, and I know they're making the rounds. Very talented. I think people, if they just came out for that, they probably would enjoy the evening. And so for that first hour from 6 to 7, people we'll also have some refreshments. It's kind of a wine and cheese thing. We'll also have some other refreshments, some punch and other goodies. We're also asking, just to help us kind of cover some of our costs and expenses, for a donation at the door. We're not selling tickets. We're kind of asking for about a minimum $5 donation. Somewhere in that particular area would be great. It would help us pay for some of our expenses and that type of thing. But it's mainly for the artists. Pintoris Art League is about promoting and supporting art in our area and art in our community, supporting local artists. And so we're hoping that artists will bring 1, 2, maybe even 3 pieces of their works to put up for sale. And if you got a blank place in your office, that empty wall at your home, you just get like, oh, this is the perfect time to really buy some original artwork. And some of these names are known too. I mean, they're in galleries, and they've got their niche in the art world. So that's really kind of neat.
And then the Eastern tie-in is that one of the reasons that you were doing this is to contribute to scholarship.
Yes. That's one thing Pintoris has been doing, is that they've established some scholarship money, and they working through the universities, whether CCC or ENMU, help to funnel that money to art students. Because, where other students and other programs have to buy books, art students have to buy supplies, canvases and paints and all kinds of different materials and that type of thing. And it can be a strain on anybody's budget. So, and then sometimes we'll have the artist or the art student come talk to us and show us a little bit of their portfolio, what the kind of stuff they're working on. We meet once a month. Right now we're meeting at the Phase 5 building at CCC, Clovis Community College. The campus has been real fine in allowing us to use that room. It's the painting room. And so we've had about 25 or 30 of our folks gather together, and then have a speaker, chance to show art, look at it, and just, it's a neat experience. Oh, by the way, before we forget, that night of the actual auction, November 2nd, is the night everybody, except maybe Arizona, everybody gets an extra hour. That's the night
Set
that
the clocks back.
Yeah, that you fall back and get an extra hour.
All right. Well, again, this is Saturday, the 2nd of November. Get there about 6 p.m. You were so nice when you said to come take a look around.
And then 7 o'clock we'll actually start
Yes.
the live auction.
I'm going to say it more bluntly than you and say that you want to get there about 6 to scope out the pieces that you want to bid on and keep people away from.
And there's one other little aspect. There is written bids, and it's all part of the same auction, but what we want to do is each piece will have a sheet where you can kind of make your mark and start the bidding. So if there's a piece going for $50, you can put 60. And then somebody might come behind you in that hour and put 65 or 70.
Right.
And then whatever the top bid is on that written sheet, that's what you, the auctioneer, will start with during the live portion of the auction.
And again, I am not afraid to use the gavel. All right.
Very good.
This is going to be Saturday, November 2nd. It's the Pintoris Art League art auction. If you would like any more information, how would people get a hold of you?
I guess they could call me at 769-0693. We do also have, we have one of our members that has a Facebook set up. I don't know how that all works, But you can go to Pentoris Art League on Facebook, and she's got a really nice display and information on there as well.
All right.
Plus, we've got these posters around town, and the radio stations know about it, the library knows about it.
All right. You can always call me, 575-562-2130. I will get you in contact with Scott. Thank you so much for coming this
Thanks so
evening.
much for supporting the arts.
All right. We will see you next time on All Things Eastern. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next time.